decided to actually crack open a beer to share with you guys tonight. Give me a second, I gotta fix something on my audio here. That shouldn't be doing what it's doing. Alright, so it was coming back with an echo there. But hey, so decided to check out one of the beers I have here and grabbed one from the cellar. And this is actually going to be one from Canada. So we'll get that up there. But it's going to be one of the Oud Bruins from Horse Siri. I haven't taken French in a lot of years, but I'll pull up the logo here. And if it is your first time to the channel, always appreciate that. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But this one here, you can see Horsery Oud Bruin. It's a barrel-aged sour brown ale. I do have the 25.4 ounce bottle, 7% ABV. This one is actually done by Les Trois Musketeers. It's basically the Three Musketeers, but it's in Quebec, where this one is actually brewed and then was imported into the U.S. by Shelton Brothers out of Massachusetts. So, haven't had a Canadian beer in a while on the channel, so looking forward to seeing what this one actually has to offer. On the back of the bottle, it does tell me SRM 26, bitterness 10, temperature about 10 to 14 Celsius is preferred, so just under 57 degrees or just over 57, somewhere in that area. Aging potential 3 to 5 years on this beer, so it is one I had in the cellar. You can have it in the cellar for a bit of time. Also gives you even a picture of the glass type, so you get all these details on the back of the bottle right there as well, which is kind of nice, so that anybody learning about the beer can really get that information, so to speak. Pairings: charcuterie, braised meat, steak, creamy cheese, malts 100%, Quebec malts, Pilsner, Munich, Cara 160, and then hops, it says Pearl and Mittelfru. So a lot of good details. The one thing that's not on this bottle though is the date, which I'm not sure if it got rubbed off at some point or how it was marked. They actually put the sticker price over the barcode, so I don't know if that covered anything up there, but this is one that I actually got here. And of course this camera doesn't want to work, so we'll switch it to the other one. So that should come in a little bit better on the focus there. But $5.99 is what you're seeing here. Is that a Rajay deal? I don't know. It could be a Rajay deal. But I ended up getting it for that about. And looking forward to see what this one has to offer. I do like a lot of brown ales. I do like the sour ales. I do like this type of style, which because it does use Brettanomyces, it's going to have a wild, funky feel to it. I would say this type of style is definitely one that's more of an acquired taste. But let's go ahead and get this open, see what it has to offer, and hopefully it tastes pretty good. Now I did look on Untappd, and it did seem to have some nice scoring on it as far as the average rating. Beer Advocate had it, I think, rated pretty highly as well as a decent score. So should be something nice to actually check out. And of course, with the temperature being a little bit higher on this one, it's kind of nice. Just pull this one from the basement with it being nice and cool. Don't have to worry about refrigerating it too long. Alright, so sit that there. Grab one thing here. What is happening, Sergey? Cheers, my friend. And then you guys can see the bottle right there. So it came out with about 1.5 fingers of head at the time I actually made the pour here. Nice tan head on it. About 1 finger of it still there. Yeah, you're definitely getting that tartness coming off. You're getting that wild, funky type feel you get from these type of sour type ales. The color of it is really a nice, pretty kind of reddish brown color. I don't know if it comes all the way up to there, but when you put a light behind it, it adds a little bit of a reddish tint to it. But it is still a nice looking beer, and that's got a little bit of clarity into it, although with that deeper, darker brown color, you're not seeing much into it, but I can see the light reflecting from the other side. What's going on, Mitch? Cheers, my friend. It's been a while. Happy New Year to you. Hopefully things are doing good. I don't know if you're back here in Kentucky or if you're out traveling anywhere, but decided to crack one open. I'm actually watching the games. There's some good basketball games on today. I don't know how many of you guys are into college basketball, but it's the Big 12 SEC Challenge, and right now Kentucky and Texas Tech just went to overtime. But most of the games today have been very good. Of course, my Mountaineers pulled out a nice big win, but they only had to play Missouri. But anyway, back to the beer. That tartness, like I said, is right there. That yeastiness is coming out from the Brettanomyces that were used. You kind of get that wild bacteria type feel on the nose. Very pungent in the aroma coming out. Taste wise, definitely get hit with some acidity in the beer. Just carbonating the cold shot lager for weeks. Nice. We still got to get together and drink some beers, my friend. Oh, Cincy Beer Fest is March 6th and 7th. That day session on the 7th, that Saturday, I will actually be going to that one. I'm not going to work it this year, but I'll be attending. And I'm actually going to have Todd coming up, and Eric's probably coming down. So if you're up on the 7th, if you're off and you're able to go, it'll be a great time to come out to the Cincy Beer Fest for that. You feel the ramped up carbonation here in the taste. You get hit with that tartness on the beer, especially on the finish. There's no hiding that big sour bite you definitely get out of it. Get a sour apple type feel coming through. It leaves a good amount of the flavor behind, so it's not one that's drying out real quick. Really feel a big prickling sensation on the tongue from the carbonation as well. You can really feel the bubble action. Hits you in the cheek area. Got a little bit of that astringency working as well. But it's got an interesting feel. If you like sours, this is one that's, it's going to be right in your wheelhouse. And, they made the mentioning of the different pairings I said earlier. They had on here charcuterie, the braised meats, the steak, the creamy cheese. I could definitely see this going with the steak rather well. I can see it with some of the creamy or even some of the funky type cheeses. Work is crazy, but we'll get together. Yeah, definitely. Just, we'll get something hooked up at some point. Definitely down. But this one, with this type of style, is actually one more, I would say, you got to be almost a hardcore sour beer lover to enjoy this one. This isn't one like we get from, say, an Urban Artifact, where it's got a little more of that sweetness for fruit and stuff, or some of the other ones. This one really leaves you with the sting and feel, and that's what I said in opening up the video. It's almost like for this type of style, it does have an acquired taste, and I think for someone that, if you were first getting into beer and you would have grabbed this one, I think it may throw you off from thinking, why would you want to try craft beer? But if you kind of built your palate up over time, there are beers of this style that can pull you in more. So if it's something new to you, I would say be patient with it. But this is a good style. I do like some of the sour type bites on everything. You just got to love all the different beer things that are happening now, that you can enjoy all these different flavors. Body wise, not really heavy in the body, light medium. I'll probably have this one a little bit higher than that 58 degree. Because I said I just pulled it from the basement. The basement's usually, I would say, probably 60 to 63 or 4, so a little bit higher. I think this one, if I put a little bit of a chill on it, it might have done a little bit. But the thing is, I like to have the flavors and the aromas come out. So when you have beer a little bit warmer, it allows it to do that. Never had a brown sour. That has to be interesting. Yeah, and the one with this, when you have like a sour brown ale, you got the darkness of it, but you're not really getting the malty or roasty or nutty type feel you get with some of the brown ales as much as you get more of that sour influence. I've had a few of this style, and the sours really do take over. It's almost you feel like you're not sure you're really even having a brown ale because you don't get some of the other things you're used to if you were just having a straight brown ale. But it does have a nice purpose with it. It does have a nice little different type feel to it. You know, it's something different. And it's almost like if you're drinking like kind of a spirit straight, when you first take those first sips of the spirit, it's kind of got that hit on you. It's kind of like, it doesn't taste as good as it does when you take a few after that. This one you have to get through that first entrance into it, and then it becomes a little bit of a smoother type drink to really enjoy. So, again, an interesting one here. Any of the guys from Canada that watch the videos, if you know anything about this one, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about this brew. Again, this is the Oud Bruin, and this is actually from here. That's the name of it as well, Horsserie. I don't know if Horsserie, what that is actually with it, because when you pull it up, it comes up under just Oud Bruin, under the brewery LTM, which again is L'Artois Mousquetaires, Three Musketeers, but it's got the Horsserie, so you can find it either way out there. This is again from Canada. If you like to age stuff in the cellar, as I mentioned earlier, this one you can age 3 to 5 years, which is kind of something that most people, you know, rule of thumb, you're usually 8% or more to age some styles. But it's funny because some of the sour ales, and I've seen it with some of the gooses as well, and lambics, that they can actually age them for a little bit of time, even though they're lower ABV. So it must be something with the yeast that's being used here. But this one is, it's different, it's interesting, and it's something a little bit more unique. So I like it. I like them breweries start to stretch their boundaries more. Everybody's not doing everything. You know, people that grew up at my age, we know what it was like in the 80s and 90s when you only had like mainly your macro breweries. So I love giving beers like this a try. I think everybody should try to check out different things, expanding your horizon, and you might find some things that you actually enjoy. But yeah, thanks for everybody that tuned in here. I'm going to just do a short video, and then I'm going to jump over to the gaming channel so I can relax, get some gaming. Once I see what happens with this Kentucky game, which is now Kentucky 72, Texas Tech 70. I don't know if you're watching it, Mitch, as well, but this has actually been a little bit of a battle in this game. I appreciate that, Mitch. I try to put everything as best I can, for sure. Interesting, yeah, they're usually real low ABV. Yeah, it is interesting, but it's got to be something with the way the yeast is. And for people not, you know, familiar with Brettanomyces, it's a wild yeast that's actually used, and it has like a little bit of a funky type tone. But a lot of your sours, brewers that brew sours use it in more of an open fermentation type thing. So all different things can happen with it. Sometimes, you know, probably more of the time, the batches aren't always the same as they were previously because you're letting different things happen from the environment. So just because you have this 1 year, like when I looked at this online at first, it said 7.8% ABV. This year was 7% ABV. They do different things that switch it up, but not just in the ABV. There's different things that'll switch up in the taste because of the way the yeast will perform. So very interesting, but that's the fun of craft beer. You know, some people like macro beers because they always taste the same, and you always know what you're getting there. That's fine and dandy. You know what you're getting, and you're happy with that. But with craft beer, you're able to experiment a little bit more. So that's one of the reasons why I dig it. Thanks for everybody swinging in. Thanks, Mitch, for joining me. Thanks, Sergey, for popping in as well. And anybody else that watches this back on the playback, always appreciate all of you. And I will look forward to catching up with you guys soon. I may pop on later to do another beer. I'm going to try to do a little bit more of these live things, and if people want to get in, we'll chat. We'll go a little bit longer. If not, I'll go ahead and cut a little bit. I know some people like to catch the beer reviews up front, so we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, Lactobacillus is another, right? That's another one that fits right in there too as part of that. There's actually 3 of them. I can't remember the third one right now as well, but yeah, they play into it. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday night. If I pop back on, you know, hit that notification bell so you're aware. And I will look forward to talking to you guys soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better come.